This is an adult channel. Hello. Every once in a while, a movie comes out that I love so much I want to say something about it, or a TV series like The Expanse, or one that irritates me. And unfortunately, this is an irritation video. I'd rather be doing reviews or something like that, or working on a project. I'm still working on the Stargate, but they're remaking The Crow, and it's called a remake. I mean, you can Google it and it comes up remake. I love the Crow as a storyline, revenge. But let's see. I had the graphic novel by James O'Barr, and it's good. It's intense. It's good. James O'Barr was going through a grieving process with a death close to him from a drunk driver. That was his inspiration, part of his inspiration to write The Crow. It eventually got turned into a movie with Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee portrayed The Crow in a different way than the director, Alex Proyas. But that movie was so awesome. Even though it had differences from the graphic novel, I mean, it's up there in my top 10. Brandon Lee's The Crow movie is just amazing. It's near perfect. It's near perfect. So they remade, they did some more Crow movies. Each one kind of descended into, the audience's preferences. They didn't like them. Each one descending into a little bit worse. And there's a TV series. I know a little bit about The Crow. I'm not a Crow expert, but there's a bunch of comic books with different crows. And that's the thing that is irritating me about this remake coming out, because what the crow resurrects people sometimes after a long time. In one story, he resurrects the person after 100 years to take revenge. But in that story, the Crow was resurrected because the soldiers that killed his family were resurrected in a motorcycle game, or reincarnated. But anyway, there's been several instances of the Crow being resurrected in different people, different names, different situations. And this particular remake stars good actors. Bill Skarsgård is a great actor, but his visual representation is of a different Crow. It's Michael Corby. And I think his story was they were victims of a carjacking. But they're naming him Eric Draven. That was Brandon Lee's name, Crow avatar. So I can't figure out why they did that. To me, it's nonsense. You got this great movie. Brandon Lee plays Eric Draven, and then in this remake, they got Bill Skarsgård playing Eric Draven, but his visual representation of the Crow in this movie, of this remake, is of a Crow avatar by the name of Michael Corby. So he looks like Jared Leto's Joker, is what he looks like. That's what people are comparing it to. But his name is Eric Draven. In the original graphic novel, it was just Eric. They added the last name for the movie. But the problem is that he looks like one of the Crow avatars, Michael Corby, in a later story, but they're naming Eric Draven. And I think, the wife, the actress, a.k.a. Twigs, her name is going to be Shelley, just like in the first movie. I don't understand why they're doing that. You know, people are saying, no, it's not a remake. Well, yeah, it is. They're using Eric Draven's name. Now, there was a comic books where the Crow resurrected Eric Draven, and he went on to a story with another character called Razor, I think. But that's not what the story is. I mean, we don't know what the story is for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's not the story. And the problem is, he looks like the character of Michael Corby. You can do a search engine of Michael Corby, the Crow, and you'll see he looks just like how Bill Skarsgård's made up. But they're calling him Eric Draven. This is just nonsensical. They're causing this controversy. I guess they want to ride on the heels of the first movie, but just make a good movie. Just make a good movie. And don't name him Eric Draven. Name him Michael Corby. They give these people that make these movies want you to like the movie and become emotionally invested, yet later they say, no, don't be so emotionally invested in that one. We're going to make this one. We want you to be emotionally invested in this one, and then this one, and then this one. But you're going about it in a nonsensical way. It's just like Star Trek. All they had to do is, with Discovery and some of the new Star Trek shows, put some dialogue in there, or just come out, in an interview and say, no, that's a different timeline. That would really fix a lot of the negativity and animosity, because I like the Kelvin movies. They were a different timeline. They just admitted it right there in the first movie. In Discovery, they could have done the same thing. And you hear all these rumors that they're wanting to fix Star Trek. I mean, it just takes a few lines of dialogue. You don't have to. It's nonsense to me. So they're taking that first movie, and I love that movie, and I don't think it can really be tainted. But what's getting tainted is then this new movie that hasn't come out yet. That's the one that's tainted. That's the one that it's just obviously you're doing this and naming him Eric Draven and her Shelley just to ride the coattails of that near perfect movie that was made 25 years ago. Well, it's obvious, and it's stupid. It's disgusting. We just name him Michael. You could fix this. Name him Michael Corby. Just name him Michael Corby. I'll take more Crow content. That's not the problem. It's just how they're doing it. So, that's the details about this movie, and that's why there's so much discontent about the Crow remake. Don't know why they're doing it. It's mind-boggling, really, honestly, why they do some. This movie may be awesome, and it may be absolutely fantastic. But the problem is that he's named Eric Draven, but he looks like Michael Corby, and it's just a horrible, bad decision at the top. It's just making a generic sci-fi show and put it in the label Star Trek on it. It's the same thing. It doesn't make any sense. If you're going to call it Star Trek or The Crow or Babylon 5, you stick with what we became emotionally invested in before. Just stick with it. If you're not creative enough to come up with a good story in that universe that respects most of the canon, then you don't need to be doing it. That's the way I feel about it. So anyway, what do you think about the Crow remake? This is the Sci-Fi and Fantasy cast, so what do you think about it? And we'll see you next video.